Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy late Hanukkah. My name is Craig Pera. I'm the founder of the Mindful Habit System, and you are listening to Sex Offense and Porn Addictions, a podcast to help you create healthy sexuality and a great life. And why? Because those two things are inexorably intertwined. There is no great life without healthy sexuality. It has been scientifically linked to mental health, physical health, and certainly many of my clients will testify to its a spiritual health. So, healthy sexuality and a great life are inexorably intertwined. They cannot be separated. And that's the perspective that I want you to have going into this journey. I do personally believe, as well intentioned as proponents of the disease based model are, that is a woefully inefficient and ineffectual way to treat this condition because because that's the output, right? That's the result. I'm not watching porn. That's not a goal. That's the result of you practicing self-care, exercising self-control, practicing mindfulness, living your purpose, prioritizing what's important to you, and what we're going to talk about today, resting. Resting. And I want to share with you this awesome article. I'm going to put it in the chat for those of you who are joining me live. And this amazing article is one that I share with clients. And it's entitled Rest and Recovery Are Part of the Work, and we need to start treating them that way. A critical lesson for leaders about elite performance. That's the perspective that I want you to have. I want you to be a leader. I want you to be focused on high performance, not curing your porn addiction. Jewel 12, what's up, my man? Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Please read this article. I just put it in the chat if you're joining me live. And here's why, okay? Because the title of the article is Rest and Recovery Are Part of the Work. We need to start treating them that way. So, a really important study. They've got some great quotes here from LeBron James. His name's Mike Mancius. With any elite athlete, the one thing that we all, as trainers and therapists, have to keep in mind is that recovery never ends. Recovery never stops. Mancius knows that the always recovering mindset allows a player like James to be successful and provide longevity and optimal performance throughout his demanding, high-stakes career. So let me tell you about this study. And as I tell you about this study, I want you to imagine what your life would look like with 10% greater performance. That's a lot. 10% greater performance compounded over weeks, over months, over years. Your life is completely different. And let me tell you something. There's absolutely no way. I want you to see my faces if you're watching this on video as I get excited and step onto my soapbox. There is no way that you are going to be successful if you do not sleep, if you do not rest. And if you are in one of these jobs where you grind, it's a very difficult conversation I have to have with some clients. And I say, listen, if you don't change the input, you are not going to be able to change the output. And there was a study that came out today. People who work second shift, third shift have a greater increase of catching diabetes because they're eating at different times. Now, there's a way to this. The point is sleep. Rest is part of the solution, and you need to start treating it that way. Let me highlight a really important part of the article. So, A 2011 study published in the journal Sleep found that Stanford basketball players could increase their performance, not through more practice, not through more training, rest. And let me know in the chat if you feel sufficiently rested to be successful, to manage life's inevitable challenges and the stress of the holiday season. Do you? Are you getting the rest that you need to be successful? And the chances are you're like almost everybody, no. But I want that to change. And I want to help you make it change by driving home these intellectual points so you can prioritize this, because it is so important. My rest, my sleep is sacred, 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 sacred. And I have a bladder problem. So I'm going to the urologist. I'm doing all the steps. I'm taking the medications. I'm up, or was up, 10, 11, 12 times a night. And when I'm up 10, 11, 12 times a night, thank God I have a job where I work at home so I can rest during the day. But man, after 3 days, I was losing my shit. I was in a really bad place. I had to get to the doctor immediately. I needed some sleep aids, and thank God I got it. But and it's something that I'm continually working on, and I prioritize it because I know. And it's not just sleep either, it's rest. So if you're grind, you're in for a tough road. And certainly, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but there's no chance of you being successful and not using sex to numb, cope, and escape. It's impossible. Not because you're a bad person, because the system isn't empowering you to create those change so you meet your needs proactively instead of reactively. When we don't get sleep, when we don't get rest, we meet our needs reactively. We don't have the oomph. We don't have the strength. We don't have it in us to meet those needs proactively. So really think about a 10% improvement in your life just for getting more sleep. So here's the study. After a baseline was established, they were then asked to sleep for a full 10 hours per night. Oh, anybody remember those days when you were young? So they were significantly more than their usual 6 to 9 for 5 to 7 weeks. At the end of this period, just by getting more sleep, their accuracy on average improved by 9%. They could sprint faster, and they reported overall better performance during practice and in games. So, and this isn't just for sport, everybody. This is for leaders. This is for fathers. This is for everybody. Everybody. And you can be a businessman, a lawyer, a doctor, et cetera, et cetera. You need your sleep, guys. And you must sleep in order to recover from whatever it is. Either playing an NBA game, or a big day in the courtroom, in the hospital room, or whatever it is in your job. And here's the other thing. If you're in a job that you hate and you're grinding, and you're not getting a good enough sleep, your mind and isn't open to other possibilities. When you're well rested, you have that extra in you to network, to apply for jobs, to explore other opportunities. So I just want to really drive this point home that you cannot be successful. And by the way, most people aren't even taking their PTO. Did you see that article that came out recently? Most people aren't taking PTO. So Jewel and the chat asked, when you're not actually sleeping, what type of rest are you referring to? So the rest that I'm referring to, I call is my reward. Okay. And the reason why I use that word reward is because the habit cycle from Atomic Habits is cue, routine, cue, craving, response, reward. And in The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, it's cue, response, reward. Cue, response, reward. I might have goofed up one of those words, but this reward. What is this reward? This reward means that needs get met reactively or they get met proactively. At the end of the week, I need to be able to say to myself, I rewarded myself. I rewarded myself by taking great care of my body. I rewarded myself with leisure, watching an anime show that I absolutely love. I'm coming to the end of Hunter x Hunter. I am really sad about that, but that's my reward. I rest. I put my phone far away over there and I watch TV. I numb, cope, and escape in a healthy, constructive way. So that's the rest that I'm talking about. It's not just sleep. It's being able to relax, being able to decompress, being able to put down the responsibilities of the family, being able to put down the responsibilities of being a father, put down the responsibilities of being a husband and of being a provider, so you can meet life, grab it by the horns, and be your best self. So what I want you to do is you go into the holiday season. We're about, if you're listening to this live or soon after I recorded it on December 13th, 2021, we're moving into the holiday season. If you saw my other broadcast, we talk about the crisis of the holiday season and how challenging things can get in the holiday season. But what I want you focused on, or one aspect, is that reward and rest. Are you setting yourself up for success? Are you sufficiently rested? You are the asset. You are the talent. By asset, I mean you're the one who's providing, right? You're not healthy, things go south really, really fast. And too many of us, and I see it all the time in my programs, grind. Life is hard, brothers. Life is absolutely so ridiculously hard. And it just a little bit extra sleep, a little bit extra rest can go a long way. And the one study cited in the says you will increase your performance by 10%. So whatever your discipline, if you want to play at the highest level or lead others to do so, make sure you take rest and recovery as seriously as elite athletes do. I will see you on my next stream. Thank you for joining me. Peace and love, brothers. Have an awesome day. Nope, make it an awesome